Child, grab your popcorn and clutch your pearls because the tea Kanye West just spilled, it's scorching, and it's got Kim Kardashian's name written all over it. According to Ye, the woman he once called his wife was out here doing far more than reality TV and contour kits. We're talking about full-blown ties to Diddy's most disturbing operations, and it goes way back to the early 2000s. Yup, Kanye didn't hold back. He went all the way in, saying Kim wasn't just affiliated with Diddy, she was allegedly one of his mules. And no, not the designer bag kind. We're talking about someone who helped transport people, money, and secrets, and all while looking flawless on the gram. And baby, what makes this even messier? Kanye allegedly knew this the whole time during their marriage, but he only started dropping the receipts after their relationship went up in flames. And now that the gloves are off, he's telling it all, every last detail. According to Ye, Kim and her momager, Kris Jenner, were deep in the game. So deep they allegedly set up a whole church as a front. Yes, a church. But not for worship, for washing Diddy's dirty money. Thousands of dollars were being funneled monthly, Kanye claims, under the guise of charity donations. But Ye says it was all hush money, used to pay off victims behind the scenes. And the part that broke Ye's soul? He says Kim had plans to exploit their own kids, especially North. He didn't want custody battles for the clout. He was genuinely afraid of what Kim might turn those kids into: marketing props, PR puppets, future victims of the same cycle he believes she's part of. People thought Ye was just being Kanye, wild, dramatic, always yelling into the void. But then, receipts started popping up. Like that disturbing Balenciaga campaign Kim posed for, with kids dressed in BDSM-inflated outfits. Yes, kids, fishnets, leather harnesses, chains. One of the stuffed bears in the shoot had a black eye, and surrounding those children, props like wine glasses and duct tape. It was giving very much Freak Off, but the mini version. And Kim? She barely addressed it. When the internet exploded in rage, she took forever to respond, and when she did, it was lukewarm at best. She did not denounce Balenciaga, she's still working with them. And Kanye said what many were thinking: Kim isn't appalled because she's part of the game, and the industry, that's her playground. That's how the Kardashians allegedly built their empire, by playing dirty behind closed doors. He didn't stop there. Ye tweeted, "The Kardashians are workers, and they use the black children they produce strategically." That was shade and a straight-up accusation in one. He even dragged FKA Twigs into the mess, saying, "I don't like that Twigs has my daughter in her video dressing all grown. I would have expected more." And then came the bombshell. The grandmother signed for the tape. "I am 100% convinced my children are in a ring." Oh yes, Kanye wasn't just talking about fashion deals or music drama. He was calling out a full-blown trafficking ring. And when he brought Kris Jenner into it, baby, the internet lost it. Because people started digging, and what they found? Whew. There's a TikToker named Bibi the Songwriter who dropped a video that backed everything Kanye said. She laid it out, how Kris, Kim, and Diddy had connections going back years, and how Kris allegedly opened a shady church, California Community Church, that forced its wealthy members, including her own daughters, to pay $1,000 0 cents a month and donate 10% of their income. That's tithing with a dark twist. At first, people thought it was just a tax scheme, but now, allegedly, it was something much deeper.
Y'all, 24 hours before the raid, Kim Kardashian decides to unfollow Diddy, right? Well, come to find out, this person by the name of Lou Taylor is apparently Diddy's manager. And this Lou Taylor woman is also on the board of Hillsong's church home. Follow me, go with me. They are doing all of this, child, in the name of the Lord. Just follow the story. Now, to cover myself, everything in this video is alleged, honey. This is what I digged up, and I don't know how much truth is to it, but there's reportings, okay? So everything that I'm saying is allegedly. Keep that in mind. So, Lou Taylor apparently is paying off, allegedly, some of Diddy's victims from this slush fund through some church fund, okay? Not only that, Kim Kardashian mama has been making these girls pay 10% to some church that Lou Taylor and her husband is basically owner, co-owner, or whatever. So I was like, let me look into this Lou Taylor person. I'm thinking Lou Taylor was a guy who was a woman with a husband, whole husband, and they doing ministry and everything. Now, mind you, y'all remember the whole thing with Britney Spears? So come to find out, Lou Taylor, this gets deep, y'all, hold on. Okay, so Lou Taylor is the CEO of TriStar Sports and Entertainment. She's like a business manager icon. Now, Mike, do y'all know the Lohans? What's the Lindsay Lohan? So she apparently, allegedly, she has been behind most of these stars' conservatorship situations, especially Britney Spears. So before we talk about Britney, Mike Lohan, which is the Lohan girl, Lindsay Lohan's daddy, accused Lou Taylor and the mama Dina Lohan for trying to put Lindsay Lohan in a conservatorship concerning her money. Also, allegedly, there's a lawsuit from 2021 with Astroworld tragedy, and she's being sued for employment discrimination. This is what this Lou lady is. Now, Lou Associates maintain intense control also over Britney Spears' life and money. And she was behind even the conservatorship of why Britney Spears had that conservatorship, because she ended up becoming the business manager and took over the financial pieces of Britney Spears' whole situation.
Lou Taylor, the Hollywood manager behind TriStar, yep, the same one that managed Britney and Diddy, was on the board of that church. And rumor has it Diddy was sending him money through that church to donate to women and children when it was really hush money for his... Whoa. And just when we thought it couldn't get messier, turns out Kim was allegedly trying to have Kanye thrown in a conservatorship. Yup, that same Hollywood trap Britney Spears exposed. Kanye says they tried to put him in it too. Kim and Diddy allegedly teamed up to make Kanye look unstable. Doctors were allegedly prescribing him heavy doses of lithium, enough to wreck a man's mind. And while Kanye may have acted a little erratic, okay, a lot, the timing, suspicious.
They tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, oh, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean, look at
they would have Michael Jackson
or worse, yeah. So look at what they did. Look at what they did to Britney. When she went in, she was tired, she was exhausted, she was in a bad way. But 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain. You can see it now. You can see there's not much of her left.
That lithium, same one Britney said her family forced on her. Same exact stuff.
I would honestly like to sue my family, to be totally honest with you. I also would like to be able to share my story with the world and what they did to me, instead of it being a hush-hush secret to benefit all of them. I want to be able to be heard on what they did to me. By making me keep this in for so long is not good for my heart. I've been so angry and I cry every day. It concerns me. I'm told I'm not allowed to expose the people who did this to me. For my sanity, I need you, to the judge, to approve me, do an interview where I can be heard on what they did to me. And actually, I have the right to use my voice and take up for myself. My attorney says I can't, it's not good. I can't let the public know anything they did to me, and by not saying anything is saying it's okay. I don't know what I said here. It's not okay. Actually, I don't want to interview. I'd much rather just have an open call to you for the press to hear, which I didn't know today we're doing.
But hold on, because this ride ain't over. Remember Keeping Up with the Kardashians? There's a clip that resurfaced recently where Khloe spills everything to Kourtney about a party she went to with Diddy, Justin Bieber, and Quincy. She flat out said it was a freak off. Everyone there? Naked. No phones, no rules, just pure industry chaos.
Yes. So who was with you this weekend? A bunch of my friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber, so far French so good. Montana. Do you even know half the people you're naming? No. Good. If you were seriously dating somebody.
Okay? No. You have to get these margaritas out of here. Why aren't you drinking? Yeah, but last night. She didn't go to bed.
haven't been to bed yet.
You haven't? I want to be Chloe when I grow up, Court.
Oh, you're just so little.
Like, my balls are just going.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Go to this party. I think half the people there were naked. You would have loved it. Have you met Chloe's new, crew of friends? No. Well, kind of. You did? Yeah. Stop talking. Have you met Chloe's new crew of friends?
And it gets darker. So, after Chloe spilled the freak-off tea on national television like it was just another brunch story, folks started putting two and two together. And then, boom, photos started leaking. And not just any photos, shots from Diddy's infamous white parties. You know, the ones where every A-lister in Hollywood shows up dressed in white. But behind closed doors, nothing stays clean. And Chile, guess who was all up in those photos? Kim Kardashian. Yep, she wasn't hiding in the background either. She was front and center. One viral shot showed her straight up on a massive bed, striking a pose with Diddy and Paris Hilton. And word on the street? That bed wasn't just for photo ops. That was the bed. The one used by celebs during the freak-offs. The same bed allegedly seen in photos that no one dares post publicly without getting a strike from YouTube. And let's talk about the other guests at that party. Chris Brown, Leonardo DiCaprio, Quincy, even politicians, Obama, Trump, Prince Harry. The room was overflowing with power, fame, and secrecy. But the energy, it was giving ritual. It was giving control. It was giving, don't ask questions unless you want to disappear. And the leaked photos? Disturbing doesn't even begin to describe it. One shows Diddy pouring champagne on two women while they touch themselves for his amusement. Another, a member of Diddy's entourage, literally in a pool, doing explicit things with two women who looked out of it lifeless, like they didn't even want to be there. And it's not just hearsay anymore. Diddy's actual indictment includes claims that he trafficked women into the country, forced them through rounds of IVF to keep them for these freak-off sessions. These weren't wild parties. These were orchestrated nightmares on repeat. And what does that say about Kim, who was right there in the middle of it? Now, before anyone jumps up with the usual "leave Kim alone" defense, let's break it down. These weren't just adult parties. These were events allegedly connected to abuse, control, and trafficking. And the women involved, many of them never consented to what came after the camera flash. So why hasn't Kim been arrested yet? Well, according to insiders, the authorities are still building their case. They need concrete physical evidence. But the moment they find it, best believe it's game over for Kim like it was for Diddy. The court of public opinion, though, already spoken. People have been sounding off on social media, and it's not looking good. One user wrote, Kim had a young Justin do a photo shoot with her when he was just 15, all due to Diddy. And Courtney had a fling with him too while she was apart from Scott. This whole family's twisted. Every show, every endorsement should be shut down. They need to be in prison. Another one dragged the whole Kardashian brand with, "You really expect Kim to be ethical? She let her mother profit off that Ray J tape." That was just the beginning. All of her businesses are shady. That's why they're crumbling. Who's buying makeup from someone who doesn't even apply it themselves? And it didn't stop there. Folks started pointing out how Kim allegedly sabotaged her marriage to NBA player Chris Humphries. Spending the night before her wedding on the phone with Kanye, the marriage lasted less than 3 months. Why? Because she had a bigger prize in mind, Kanye West. And now, after Ye gave her everything, the marriage, the kids, the fashion access, the legacy, he says she's using their children to continue the same cycle she's always been in: exploitation, profit, power. And let's not forget what Kanye posted about North. "I'm not letting her be used. I see the setup coming. They want her to follow Kim's path. They think they can use my baby girl the way they've used every woman in that family." People called him paranoid, but when you zoom out and look at the whole picture, the freak-off connections, the church money laundering, the hush funds, the weird fashion shoots, the freaky parties, and the silence from Kim, suddenly it doesn't seem so far-fetched. And now, everyone's watching, wondering what else is Kanye holding back? What else is hidden behind the glitz and glam? And how far will Kim go to protect the brand she's built on secrets? Because at this point, her silence is louder than any statement. And Kanye? He's just getting started. So what do you think? Is Kim really tied up in Diddy's dark world, or is Kanye spiraling again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to check out our next messy expose, because Hollywood never sleeps.